really, really enjoyed the film. I can't wait until it comes out. On a personal level, I want to thank you and Peacock for making this film. I recently just married a friend to gun violence last weekend, so it was very touching to me. It definitely hit home. So I wanted to ask you,
Sorry to hear
how
about.
do you think this film will really? Oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Tell me, how do you think it will relate to different audiences? I mean, for me, it hit home on a personal level, but I feel like so many different type of people go through these issues in this country, and I feel like it's very relatable. Tell me a little bit about how you think it's relatable to people who don't necessarily go through this, but who see it on a day-to-day.
Well, I think it will be able to touch everyone in some type of way because either we are families that's dealing with these issues that are the victims, or we are know people who are dealing with these issues. You know, we're close to them. We have friends that's dealing with gun violence. We have, you know, cousins and, you know, all kind of people that's just dealing with people losing people on a daily day-to-day basis, especially in the Black community. But I think if, you know, just being a human being, everyone should be able to feel this documentary. Just seeing the violence and the tragedy that the Black community faces with gun violence and guns in our neighborhoods. This documentary was very tough for me because it hit home in so many different ways. Seeing the youth of New Orleans having to deal with these issues that they're dealing with in their home and in and around their communities. So it has touched me in many, many ways. You know, my brother was shot and killed to gun violence. I was shot myself to gun violence. You know, I've lost my cousin to the justice system for trying to defend himself to gun violence. So it's so many different things why this film is very important to me and have touched home. But I think that everybody, no matter what race, no matter where you live in the world, should be able to relate to the issues at hand here.
Definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. I also think this film is very timely. I mean, we're going through issues where gun violence is something that we definitely deal with in the Black community, but we also know that guns and drugs and things like that that affect our community are infiltrated in. It's not necessarily we bring it in, it's infiltrated in. So tell me a little bit about the timeliness of this film. We're dealing with politics and the NRA and gun control and things like that. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts on that. Do you think that that could help the gun violence that goes on in our community, or is it a lost cause, or is it something that's not being done that could be done?
I think that it's, you know, a mixture of all those things. I definitely think that it couldn't be perfect timing with the film. I think that the film will bring some attention to some different people. I just think that it needs to continue to grow into the right hands of different people that will keep bringing awareness and attention to the subject at hand. But I also think that, you know, we will have some people that will brush it under a pile of papers and not really care about the situation because it's not affecting their community. But my main focus is to keep on getting the word out, to keep on putting it in people's faces, to make people aware of what's going on. And you know, we all try to work on this together as a community effort and a national effort, you know, so we got to get this into the right politician's hand. We need to get this into the right artist's hand. We need to get this into the right leader's hand, and on every level.
Mm-hmm. It's a community effort for
It
sure,
is
for
definitely.
sure. I also wanted to ask you, well, I wanted to tell you, yes, 100%. One of the things I liked also about this movie, aside from the issues that we deal with every day in the Black community, I feel like this film kind of showed New Orleans, you know, it shows the good, the bad, and the ugly, but it also the good. And I have so many friends that are from New Orleans, and they just tell me how I went when I was a child, maybe, but they just tell me how amazing the city is, how amazing Louisiana is as a state. And I feel like you definitely encompassed that in the film. It kind of had somewhat of a lightheartedness, although we're talking about, you know, these issues that we deal with. Is that something that you wanted to make sure you capture the essence of New Orleans and Louisiana in this film?
Well, yes. I mean, it's the real New Orleans. It's a bittersweet place. It's. We've been this way for a long time. It's been this way since I've been a kid. You can get love, and it'll be the same people that love you and who have watched you grow. That will be the people that try to take you out and come for destruction. So it's a bittersweet place, and I definitely wanted to capture all of those moments. How bitter and sweet it can be. New Orleans and Louisiana as a whole is very, very much an open community. Is loving, it's accepting, but we also deal with a lot of stuff on the back end that we have to deal with as all of these issues at hand. So I definitely did want to catch a part of, because it's the real New Orleans. That's just the real New Orleans. Bittersweet.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me a little bit about bittersweet. And that's honestly, that's an honest remark that I heard from all my girlfriends from New Orleans. So I 100% agree with you. I'm going to come experience it myself sooner, hopefully rather than later. But tell me a little bit, you kind of spoke on it about the people you grow up around and the people that you come around, sometimes people that will ultimately hand you your downfall. And I know within our community, sometimes it's like a crabs in the barrel mentality.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit, did you deal with that within, yes, did you deal with that within, I mean, coming and rising to the amazing star that you are, and then even more so producing this film, is that something that you personally had to deal with and had to move past it, or how do you move past it? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's something that I think, as a community here in New Orleans, we all deal with it one way or another, where people see your rise and your star shining, and some people just can't accept that, and jealousy and envy sits. So yeah, I've definitely saw it, especially on my rise to who I am now. Some people didn't like the fact that I became, the international star that I am, and, representing for the bounce community. I have been blessed to be at the forefront and to be the ambassador of bounce music, to carry the torch and really just bring it to the light of people all around the world. So there have been some people that has not liked that, and I deal with that by just keep on pushing and praying. I tell people all the time, my two things is the two P's. I pray and I push. I pray to continue to God to give me strength to do what I do and to protect me from all hurt, harm, and danger. And I just keep on pushing. I stay consistent. I don't try to let those things bother me. I try not to engage back with drama or anything that comes at me, because it's so easy to get in trouble these days and it's hell to get out of. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have been, I've been attacked in so many different ways, even with the government. Once my star got even bigger, tried to take me down. So all you can do is try to continue to work through all of that and keep it pushing.
Yes, the two P's. I love that. Prayer and push.
Yes.
I love that. I love that so much. Now, just to conclude, I don't want to take a lot of your time, but tell me, what is the biggest message that you want audiences to take away from this film? There's so many different, I took away so many different messages. So bravo to you, bravo to Peacock, bravo to the producers and the directors. But if you had to pick one, let's say, main message, tell me a little bit about what that would be, what you want viewers to get from watching this film.
I want people to take away that this affects all of us as a whole, and that we all can do something about it, as a community. But we have to stop being lazy, and we have to speak up and let our voices be heard. People may not think it affects them directly, but it do in the end. We see all of these different families losing loved ones and dealing with tragedy and have to try to sleep at night and all of the stuff that we seeing. But I just hope that people can take away that, if we start spreading